Hello, beautiful people. Now, today is January 18th, 2024, 18 days into the new year. Welcome to the Akoma Show. I am your host, Akoma Mikey, of course, the only really guy in this group. Now, I do have to say, I believe about 76% of my viewers are not subscribed to the channel. Subscribe to the channel, man. Do y'all just not got accounts or something? What are y'all doing, man? Now subscribe and enjoy the ride. I appreciate all the this is my second time doing this type of video where instead of just doing multiple topics, I do all the topics in one and I call it the Akoma Show, and it's kind of cheating, but it is what it is. I appreciate all the support, and again, if y'all like this, tell me about it in the comments. I want to add like a segment at the end of the show where I do hot takes, fan engagement, or supporter engagement. Sorry, y'all not fans, y'all supporters. Almost said it again. Supporter, thing like hot takes, questions, anything y'all gotta ask me, anything y'all gotta say, leave it in the comments, man. And on the very next day of the show, I will be addressing it. Now this it's either going to be like a live stream or I'm going to do something like this where I just talk for like an hour or so, and it is what it is. Now today we got a news roundup of what's going on today. All wrestling today. I couldn't find anything really like football related, or I do have a basketball. We got Samoa Joe versus Hook. That was almost a classic. If you see my community post, you know how I feel about that. Almost a classic, but it ruined. It was ruined. It was like the Philadelphia Eagles, that match. Jay White is. I told y'all about Jay White, man. He's buried. The Young Bucks, they won't leave CM Punk alone. DeAndre Ayton, like NBA is just fun. The NBA players are just ugh. And Randy Orton wants John Cena for his last match. Now, let's get into the first topic of the day: Samoa Joe versus Hook. Now, this match, bro, come on, man. It was so close. Y'all know, if y'all seen my last video, I have high hopes for Hook and Samoa Joe, bro. I have high hopes for Hook in general as a wrestler, but Samoa Joe, I'm expecting this reign to carry AEW. Not even just carry AEW, but bring new light into AEW to reignite the flame and the enjoyment of it. And I understand that the World Championship may be cursed. Just look at what it did for CM Punk. And I understand that Samoa Joe is older, up there in age, and when he was put in prominent spots in WWE, he seemed to get injured a lot. But I really think that Samoa Joe can reignite that flame in AEW. Can it be 2021? No, but again, with Sasha, like I said with Sasha Banks, I don't need him to save the entire company. I don't need him to change the entire direction. I'm not expecting him to be CM Punk, Adam Cole, Bryan Danielson, Cody Rhodes all bunched up in one in 2021. No, I'm just expecting him to at least be something to look forward to every Wednesday, So, but this was starting off on the wrong foot. This match was, at first, it was amazing. It was good. It was exactly what it needed to be. Samoa Joe has, I don't know how much weight on him and how much height he has on Hook, but it was what it needed to be. Samoa Joe looked dominant, but it all messed up when we got outside the ring. As often it does with AEW matches, they have an obsession with being outside of the ring and the ref not counting for some reason. So I forgot to stand up. But yeah, so it got outside the ring, and then Samoa Joe, like I think Hook, he got the advantage, and he didn't get the advantage by like no selling something or nothing. No, he did it realistically, where like if you're fighting a bigger guy, you're gonna like have to jump up and punch him and get him and down. He got him on his knees, and it was like, it reminded me of like Spider-Man versus Rhino or Spider-Man versus Thanos, and it looked like it. And I'm like, bet this is exactly what it needed to be. And then there come the table spot, and it looked brutal, and it's just like, God, all right, end the match here. roll him in a ring, pin him, muscle buster him if you got to, put him in a sleeper hold if you got to, but this needs to be the beginning of the end of the match. Ladies and gentlemen, we was just getting goddamn started. God damn, man. So 10 seconds after damn near getting his vertebrae fucking broke, this man Hook is flipping the fingers at him, and he's not just doing it from the ground like Vince McMahon did at WrestleMania 22 when he was in the stretcher and just threw up the middle finger. No, this man leaned up like the Undertaker. Hook turned into Undertaker 10 seconds after getting slammed brutally through an announce table. Like, it wasn't a botch. It didn't go through clean. It was like the nastiest table spot I've seen in a very long time. And this man leaned up like the Undertaker, gave Samoa Joe the double bird. So you know what Samoa Joe does? This man gave him the Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn apron powerbomb. Now, I said in my community post, this is the same move that put Sami Zayn on the show for months. And then, again, 10 seconds later, this man Hook is up and gets in the ring, and he starts a comeback, bro. He starts a comeback, and then it's just like, bruh, that is two angles right there. That is two angles right there. That is like, you know how much you could do with those two angles? Imagine Samoa Joe puts him through the table, and like he gets counted out or something. Then Hook has a gripe where it says like, you didn't pin me, you know what I'm saying? You just like, you kind of took me out with the table, or he rolls him in and then like, but Hook didn't just get beat with anything. He got beat because he got put through the table in a worse way. So now Hook looks like a tough guy because it took all that to beat Hook. No, but he rolls in the ring. He gets the apron powerbomb. Again, something that took Sami Zayn out for months. We were waiting for Sami Zayn. It made Sami Zayn a bigger star because we were waiting on his return. And also, it made Kevin Owens look dangerous. That was the first time I ever seen Kevin Owens. I didn't know of Kevin Steen. I just knew of Kevin Owens. And it made Kevin Owens look so dangerous. And it was like, okay, you know what you could do? Like, that alone, that can ride out for months. But no, you just wasted it in 2 minutes. You just wasted 2 month-long angles in 2 minutes. And it's so frustrating. So then, again, Hook begins to come back, I believe. And then he gets the Randy Orton, like, when Randy Orton's doing his comeback and he does that swing over power slam. And like he kicked out. It looked beautiful. It was beautifully executed, and he kicked out of it. Of course, he kicked out at 2. Remember that. Hook kicked out at 2. So then Samoa Joe hits his finisher. He hits the Muscle Buster, the same move that ended Tyson Kidd's career, the same move that put down Kurt Angle multiple times. This very brutal move. Hook kicks out at 1, bro. Hook kicked out at 1. Why? Like, who is this for? It's beyond action figures at this point. This is video game logic. Like, why? You buried the announce table spot. You buried the apron powerbomb, and then you bury your own finisher. This is your first title defense. It's ridiculous. So then, eventually, I think Hook made another comeback. He kicked out at 1, bro. And then he made another comeback, and then he made another comeback, but that got stifled out. He put him in the Red Room, I believe that's what it's called. Amazing. Hook is a very talented dude, and it looks good. And then, but Samoa Joe reversed it into the Coquina Clutch, and Hook, I'll give him this. He sold that very well. Like I don't know if he was just selling, actually. Hook was actually turning blue. Like, his limbs was turning blue or purple. So I don't know if he was just selling there or Samoa Joe really had him in that clutch. So, but, even his body language a while in the Coquina Clutch did look good. But, man, this was wasted. After that, they tried to do like the Jeff Hardy and Undertaker thing where he calls the big tough guy down back to the ring. Like most recently, I seen this with like Goldberg and Dolph Ziggler, but it was more comedy with Goldberg and Dolph Ziggler. But Jeff Hardy was made a star when he got his ass whooped by Undertaker, and he got on that mic and said, "Is that all you got?" Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not done. Like, you know what I mean? But no, they did this. They couldn't even do that right. So Hook stood up. He didn't grab a microphone. He just yelled it. But then like he wasn't loud enough because he was already on his feet. He wasn't even loud enough. So Samoa Joe's looking back before he even says it because, that's a part of the script. And, they didn't act it well enough at all. So then I think he got in the ring. He did some move to him. I forgot what it was. But it wasn't as impactful as when Jeff Hardy and, this – I guess this looks good for Samoa Joe, but this doesn't help Hook at all. And the AEW fans, yeah, but to the casual viewers, to somebody who's been watching for 20 years, somebody who's been watching all of his life, it just makes me like, okay, I see what the plan is for Hook. Like, do I expect Hook to be the one that's like, no, I don't want. For some reason, people in my community post think that I'm saying that Hook should have dethroned Samoa Joe. Hell no. Fuck no. I want Samoa Joe to hold the title to at least May. But you could have had so many stories. You could have made a story out of Hook and his comeback and how he can come back and have people actually thinking that Hook should be the one to dethrone him because he'll have a comeback story, such as Sami Zayn or Drew McIntyre at one point, or even Seth Rollins, because all of those guys kind of got did wrong with Roman Reigns, and it actually made fans want them to be the ones, or Jey Uso. But, you kind of stifled that now because nobody wants to see Hook and Samoa Joe anymore, other than AEW fans. And then, of course, there was a post-match segment. There always is. There's always a post-match angle. I believe Heyman Adam Page came out, and then out of nowhere, so Samoa Joe was about to attack Hook again because, of course, Hook got back up, no-sold Samoa Joe's attack, and then when Samoa Joe was about to go back again, Heyman Adam Page came out. And then, Samoa Joe just all of a sudden becomes a bitch and doesn't want to fight Hangman on Page. Nobody's scared of Hangman on Page. Nobody believes that. The only benefit of the doubt I'm giving with that logic is that maybe Samoa Joe was tired and Adam Page is fresh. That's it. That's the only leeway I'm giving Tony Khan on this booking. And is disappointing. And before I get into that, actually, there was one more thing about this that was hilarious. Hook left the ring. Hook left the ring before, I guess, Heyman on Page and Swerve did their stare down. So Hook messed up the script. So they got him on camera, already out of the ring. But then when it cut back to the ring after they got Swerve walking off, it's Hook just in the ring on his hands and knees in pain and shit. Bro, we just seen you at the top of the stage. How you get back in the ring? So I guess Adam Page was supposed to help Hook up, and Hook was supposed to push him off, and he was supposed to get the standing ovation as he walked away, but Hook forgot the script or whatever. It was awkward. It was bad. That's where the referee is supposed to be directing traffic, but the referees aren't that good at the job, and nobody really is good at the job at psychology or anything. And I'm very disappointed in Samoa Joe. He knows better, man. He's been doing this for 20 plus years. He's been doing this since I was in diapers. So he knows better. This sucked. And it was very disappointing. And this segment, this whole entire thing, the main event gets an F from me. Y'all failed. There is no, we don't grade on the curve here. We're very strict. Especially given the fact that, again, there's Samoa Joe in this segment. Samoa Joe knows better. He's been doing this for 20 plus years. He knows that this is bad. And it just every time I see bad stuff like this, it just reminds me yeah, CM Punk definitely was doing his own creative, because this wouldn't have happened with CM Punk. This wouldn't have happened with any he didn't make anybody look ridiculous. He didn't make anybody look unrealistic. I think the only thing that was kind of close to this was when Wardlow powerbombed him like 40 times, and he did the Bret Hart finish, which, I guess if it was cool for Bret Hart to do it, why can't CM Punk do it? But even that, that didn't really rub me the right way. But, it is what it is. But this was very disappointing. I'm very disappointed in Hook. I'm very disappointed in Samoa Joe. But the rest of these people, I guess, that kind of makes sense for them. The only one who really came out of this looking, who didn't look ridiculous in this. The only person who didn't look ridiculous in this was Swerve. And ironically enough, he was in the crowd just watching. So, again, a F. Y'all get an F. 0 out of 10. I would not recommend this to anybody. It's not even funny. It's not entertaining at all. It's just ridiculous. And I hate it. I just want my wrestling to make sense. Is that so much to ask? Is it that much to ask? I just want my wrestling to make sense, man. Now, next topic. Jay White. I told y'all, man. I forgot what was that, Full Gear, when he went against MJF. People was telling me, oh, no, it's just one match. He lost to the champion. It's not that big of a deal. He'll be okay. Now look where he at. He lost to fucking Jon Moxley. He lost to the plumber, as Jim Cornette would say. I wouldn't call him the plumber. That's kind of mean. But, as Jim Cornette would say, the fucking plumber, fuck it, we're calling him plumber because he contributed to this mess that is Jay White's booking. And now Jay White is this trios champion. And not just any trios champion, the fucking ROH trios champion. Why? Who is even the trios champions? Who is it? Is it the Acclaim? Why is Jay White the trios champion? Like, this doesn't make sense. This is like Ricochet booking. This is just booking to the book. I believe this is his first championship in AEW, unless you count him walking around with MJF's belt for like a month or so. This is bad, bro. This is terrible. Why? Like, why? I was starting to like Jay White, but like, why, bro? And in hindsight, I'm somebody who loves the fact that Samoa Joe is world champion. But in hindsight, if we weren't going to do a Bidding War 2024 storyline with MJF, why did he beat Jay White? What was that? Why? Like, this doesn't make sense. It's so disappointing because coming in when Jay White, they made it seem like this man was like a number one draft pick. Like, the Bengals just got Joe Burrow, or this man was the goddamn Patrick Mahomes of wrestling, and then he comes in and they just booked him to oblivion. I just know he wished he went to WWE. Who knows how it would have went in WWE, but he wouldn't be stuck in limbo at fucking ROH. And, like, I don't even know what channel ROH is on. Is it even on TV? How do you watch ROH? I wouldn't even know how to watch Jay White. Even then, I don't know if they even defend the titles on there. Like, that is so fucking stupid. Like, and I'm not even a Jay White guy. I'm not even a AEW guy. I'm not any of these people, guys. This is y'all people. Y'all are the internet wrestling fans. I'm a casual viewer who's trying to get into it, and this is frustrating me. I feel bad for Jay White. I didn't know who this man was 6 months ago. And why am I more upset than y'all are? This is fucking stupid. Like, how do y'all, I don't know if I'm more upset with Tony Khan, the creative, or the fans. Like, how are y'all supporting this nonsense and then defending it? Like, what? Like, man. I understand that Jay White took a huge blow when Juice Robinson went out, because Juice Robinson was really on the come up, and I know it kind of threw him in limbo, I guess. I don't know, but he has to be booking from week to week. He has to be booking from week to week. And if the Acclaim is the Trios champion, and it says a lot that I don't even know who the Trios champions is, but unless this is a unification of the titles storyline, or if that's not the goal here, I just don't see nothing that can justify putting this man, just giving this man some random titles, and now he has to work with the Guns, and the Guns are okay. They're okay. They got something going with them, but no, Jay White, you need to be building him up as a single star. You need single stars. That's the reason we keep having this fucking rotation of Hangman on Page, Swerve Strickland, and et cetera, et cetera. Like, after Hook, where do we go? Because Swerve Strickland and, let's just say, Hangman on Page and fucking Swerve Strickland is about to have a match. What's next for Samoa Joe? I don't know. I just you can't. I won't say you bury Hook, but I don't want to see Hook versus Samoa Joe again. And the beating he took, Hook should be off TV for the next month or so. But nah, the only reason Hook isn't going to be on TV for the next month is because Tony Khan's fucking sporadic booking. And just back to Jay White, I don't know, man. And I think if you made a list of who CM Punk leaving the company has hurt the worst, Jay White has to be up there, man, because he was definitely the Guns and the Bullet Club Gold was definitely doing something on Collision with Punk and FTR and Ricky Starks at one point. But it's just, you got to think that CM Punk would have gave this man something to do, something better. And what they were building on Collision was definitely up his alley and would have helped him and benefited him more than what he's doing now, because this man is the ROH Trios champion, bro. I can't even name two others trio champions. I don't even remember who they won it from, bro. It's just, I don't get it. This is equivalent to WWE bringing in Will Ospreay and giving him the North American title. It's like, no, like, this man has a lot of hype. And even then, it ain't even that. Like, the North American title would be an upgrade from the ROH title. So what the fuck am I even talking about? I'm very disappointed. And, like, I want to like AEW, man. I want to like the wrestling that I have to talk about. And my audience, for some reason, loves AEW. So, or not even loves it. They just love to hate it. And if I got to watch it, if I got to review it, I'll at least like to like it. So, apparently not. But yeah, it's just going to be, I guess I gotta lower my expectations, or not even. I don't even expect much, bro. That's the problem. I don't even expect much, and they just, damn, man, damn. but now from one egomaniac and Tony Khan to two others, and the Young Bucks, Matt and Nick Jackson, they done came back, and man, they cannot let this CM Punk stuff go. They took another very subtle shot at CM Punk, where they said they were bringing up how they kind of lost their way and how they let toxicity creep into the locker room. And we know what they mean by that. We know what they mean by that. The guys who had a fight in the locker room, we know what they mean by that. And I was listening to the Jim Cornette show, or I forget exactly which one, whether it was a drive-thru or the experience, but I guess a fan was bringing up how, like, with AEW and the stadium, not stadiums, the venues that they book and how much they fill them out, and the shows that was advertised as Young Bucks returning home, I think they only filled about 27%. So, you know, like Brian Last made a joke that's the reason they left for a while, because they realized that they're not that relevant. And I've been telling people that for about 6 months now, that the Young Bucks are just not, they're just not relevant. It's not 2018 anymore, and they're getting exposed on the global stage. They're the fucking Harlem Globetrotters. Try to say that 5 times fast. They're the Harlem Globetrotters of wrestling, and it's goofy nonsense. It's not something you want to watch more than once. And if you've seen one Young Bucks match, you've seen them all. It's ridiculous nonsense, and their characters, they're not believable. They have very smug faces. They have very punchable faces. They don't come off as genuine at all. And it's just, especially given what we know about them now and how they take advantage of Tony Khan and how they've kind of run amok backstage in AEW and how their egos are so out of control. It's not that I want to see them get their ass whooped on live TV. I just don't want to see them in general. I want to see them get their ass whooped in real life. I want to see the backstage footage from Brawl Out. Like that's the only thing I want to see from the Young Bucks. I don't want to see their interviews. I don't want to see them on TV. I definitely don't want to see them against Sting. I just want them to go away. But they're the EVPs. Sting wanted them for some reason. And I'm supposed to look at these guys as the greatest tag team of all time, which I think is complete and utter bullshit. That it's not for me. And it's just crazy that Shawn Michaels is these guys' our favorite wrestler, and he's one of mine as well. He's somebody that if I had to show somebody what wrestling is and try to get somebody into wrestling, I'm showing them a Shawn Michaels match. I'm showing them WrestleMania 26, WrestleMania 25, WrestleMania. If you like to know disqualification bullshit, I'm showing them WrestleMania 22. I'm definitely showing them WrestleMania 23 versus John Cena. But it's like they try to be Shawn Michaels, but like maybe the worst part of him. I don't know. Like I can't think of anything Shawn Michaels has done is that bad or just bad in general, but like what they do, I don't know exactly what it is. It's just gymnastics, and yeah, they work for a niche audience, and it's a vocal minority. Their niche audience is the vocal minority, and they all have you thinking that they are the greatest tag team ever when they're not better than FTR. I like the New Day way better than them, and the Usos kind of have got exposed because they do 100 super kicks a match, but I would choose a New Day match. I would choose New Day versus the Usos for the 100th time over any Young Bucks match. I'm good. I like the Street Profits over the Young Bucks. I like, I already said FTR. The Guns. I like fucking Edge and Christian in this latter age. Anybody but the Hardys at this point. Like they're not them. I guess that's a lot of where my frustration comes from, is that growing up, you would hear about these Meltzer, you wouldn't even hear that it was Meltzer. You would just hear about these 5-star match ratings and how WWE and John Cena doesn't really have any, or CM Punk doesn't really have any, and these guys that you don't really know about, such as the Kenny Omegas and the Young Bucks, and how they have all these 5-star matches. And I'm like, damn, what I'm saying? Like, my favorites don't have any. And then you hear about like how the Young Bucks are the greatest tag team, and I'm like, okay, that's cool. Then you hear about Kenny Omega and how he's like one of the greatest wrestlers. I'm like, okay, that's great. I can't watch him. I don't know how to watch him. I don't know where to go to watch him. So then you see them on your live television after hearing about them for almost a decade, and they're garbage. They're complete garbage. Now, Kenny Omega, is he complete garbage? No. But would I watch a Kenny Omega match over a John Cena match? And no. Would I watch it over a CM Punk match? No. Would I watch it even over a MJF match? Fuck no. Would I watch it over a Bryan Danielson match? Fuck no. Would I watch it over, no, bro. They okay. They okay. I can see why a niche audience would like a Kenny Omega match, but a Young Bucks match, yeah, no, they don't. I don't know. Just go watch Simone Biles if you like gymnastics. I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't know. Go watch the Globetrotters if you like scripted nonsense. I don't get it. For niche fans who hate, baby faces in WWE because they don't come off as authentic, or they hated John Cena so much because he seemed phony, and y'all love these people. I don't get it, bro. I don't get it, but y'all let me know what y'all think about this. I don't get it. I don't get it. But let me get off them. So in lighter news, and something lighter to switch it up, man, because I've been kind of ranting. DeAndre Ayton for the Portland Trail Blazers. He was a former number 1 draft pick for the Phoenix Suns. I believe in 2018, going on 6 years ago now. This man was he had a lot of turmoil in Phoenix, and I can understand why. There was a lot of turnover and a lot of things going on, and he felt like he should be a number 1 option, or he felt like he should be a bigger offensive option, and he wasn't. And he got traded to, I believe he got traded to Portland. And now, Portland is kind of a bottom feeder team, and they're rebuilding. And this man is he's kind of fallen to the wayside. He's just another player in the league. And, things like this isn't really helping. Is the reputation of the NBA, just that players don't like to play anymore. And not to bury the lead anymore. If you don't know, this man missed a game because there was ice on his in his neighborhood. Now, to be fair to this man, I don't know how bad the ice was. I would imagine that there was like ice all around, but like Gilbert Arenas said, why not just walk? Your legs don't work, big bro. Like, you can't walk to the end of the neighborhood. You can't walk over there. Like, me personally, like, if it's something I want to do, I'm going to do it. If I'm hungry and I want some McDonald's, but my whole neighborhood is froze, and I got to ride to it, but they just can't come to my neighborhood, I'm going to go out of the neighborhood. Like, I don't get it. It sounds like bullshit. I believe it said that they sent like a truck or something, or sent somebody to pick them up, and they couldn't pick them up, so maybe there's some validity to it. Gil and Shannon think they were just trying to tank, and they ended up winning the game anyway. I don't get it. It sounds like bullshit because, again, if this was the NFL where it's limited games, where you got 17 games to make an impact, you're making that game. So if you could make it then, why not do all you can to make it to one of the 82? Unless you're telling me all 82 games don't mean as much. And, that's the problem with the NBA, that it just seems like the players aren't invested into the playoff times. And maybe that's because of the media and how much pressure they put on these players to win championships and have playoff success. But, the fan suffers. You got to think, like, how some people may be saving up over time to buy these tickets. These NBA tickets are goddamn expensive. Like, to get a quality seat, you spending a couple hundred. You know what I'm saying? Unless you want to be in the nosebleeds with the loud ass horns and shit, you spending a little pretty penny to go see these NBA players half-ass it. But when you hear stories like this, how I can't imagine what Ticket TV is thinking, but it like, just for ice, bro, like, you missed the game because there was ice in your neighborhood. Like, imagine you missing a shift because there was ice in your neighborhood. Like, imagine, like, how, like Shannon said, like, how many other people in that neighborhood miss work. Like, it just sounds like nonsense. It sounds like you just didn't want to play, and I get it, but it just sounds like nonsense. Like, y'all couldn't have made up that this man was sick. It's cold as fuck outside. Like, y'all couldn't just say that this man was sick or something, or just resting him. That whole ice nonsense is hilarious, and I think, honestly, that's a highlight of DeAndre Ayton's career. So, y'all let me know what y'all think about that in the comments, though. So, Randy Orton, man, he's coming out. He's finally talking. He had an interview, I believe, with WWE's On the Bump, and he came out and said how he said a few things about how he was kind of upset that WWE leaked out or announced that he was returning early. But he kind of understood because of the whole CM Punk hype. He's brought up how he felt about CM Punk, and that CM Punk had a dark cloud over his head. And I did wonder what he meant about that, like the whole dark cloud thing. Like, because CM Punk could tell you himself in 2014 he was not a good person to be around. He was sick. 2013, 2014, he was sick, he was miserable, dry heaving after every match, couldn't sleep, in so much pain, damn near died from a staph infection, an untreated staph infection. And he wasn't, but Randy Orton excused it because he said he himself had a dark cloud over him as well, and probably wasn't we all know about Randy Orton's trials and tribulations, whether I believe he pooped in a girl's bag, multiple drug test failures, showing up late to rehearsal to an Undertaker match I believe that was his first singles WrestleMania match, Randy Orton's, and he was late to rehearsals with the Undertaker. So yeah, Randy Orton has definitely had his trials and tribulations. So again, I always said, like, about the whole CM Punk kind of like messing up Randy Orton's return thing. If Randy Orton ain't got a problem with it, who are we to have a problem with it? And Randy Orton's on SmackDown. He's probably going to be the top star until Cody Rhodes return because Roman Reigns is never there. CM Punk is on Raw, and it's I'm glad to have Randy Orton back. It's like I do worry about his back a lot, just given the fact of his finisher and how much time he did miss with that due to his finisher. He already had shoulder problems, like career long shoulder problems due to the RKO. And then you wouldn't think that the RKO would mess you up that much, but it did. And I'm just glad to have both of these legends back because they are both legends. If they retire today, they're first ballot Hall of Famers. And I'm glad that I do believe like an older Randy Orton or a younger Randy Orton, I should say, would have a problem with the way everything was handled. But that shows true character. That shows true growth. And that's all we can do in life is just grow and become, better versions of ourselves. Now, he also brought up how his dream match is one more match with John Cena for the WWE Championship. And I believe he said main event in WrestleMania. And that's big, man. This is the rivalry of my life almost. Like, the first big one to me was, of course, John Cena and Edge. Like that felt like a blood feud. Like that felt like that was more. Maybe it was more personal. I don't know, because those are two motherfuckers who made personal rivalries. Like when you think about Randy Orton kissing Stephanie McMahon with Triple H's handcuffed to the ring and making him watch. They both put hands and feet on John Cena's dad. Literally put hands and feet on him, and Randy Orton's case multiple times. Randy Orton was definitely like he made Triple H pull up to his goddamn house. Like Randy Orton was about that. So maybe Randy Orton's feud with John Cena was more personal and better. But I would love to see these men in the ring one last time for the 100th time. You might as well if you did it 99 times, you might as well do it for that 100th time. Would it make sense and would it be beneficial for the full-time roster? No. This is, of course, fantasy booking. Maybe it should be like a SummerSlam match or something. And I believe if those two guys said we want the main event, we want to do one last match between each other, I do believe, somebody will pull some strings and do it. Who knows? Because I believe like The Rock wanted to return last year and WWE basically told him like, nah, we good. So WWE does have it in them to tell these legends no, but can they tell two legends no? I don't know. These guys are older. They're damn near, they're both, John Cena's not a dad, but they're both slowing down and, a lot of wear and tear that they took on their bodies, making them seem like grandpas, and they're old enough to be grandpas. So, the wear and tear on their body is definitely showing up, and John Cena's looking for the perfect retirement match. I do believe, I don't know, John Cena's been kind of putting people over for like the last 5-6 years. I'm ready for him to take a win, so I'm not really ready for John Cena to bow out yet. I highly doubt his next match will be his last match, but I don't know. I don't know. I highly doubt it'll be Randy Orton. I highly doubt we'll get one more Randy Orton match, but again, like I said, I believe if those two say we want each other in one more match, even if it's not the main event, they'll get that match. And would it be for the championship? Most likely. But y'all let me know what y'all think about this in the comments. Again, I appreciate y'all showing up, bro. Like I said in the beginning of this, 76% of the people who watch these videos are not subscribed, man. I know y'all got a channel. Hit that subscribe button, man. I definitely appreciate it. I appreciate you guys. If you listen to this whole almost 40-minute thing, I really appreciate you. Have a beautiful night. We'll see y'all tomorrow. It's been a Akoma show. I've been Akoma Mikey. Y'all stay safe out there. It's very fucking cold out here. So damn cold out here. But I appreciate y'all. Have a beautiful night. Sub to Act. Actually, probably not. Don't do that. Actually, sub to me. Sub to your boy. Like the video on your way out. Stay warm. Peace.